Now, in response to the delay in the promised election, sweeping economic sanctions have been imposed in Mali. Now, West Africa's main regional bloc has also agreed to close down its borders with the coup-hit nation. The decision follows a summit of the leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, and the leaders discussed a proposal from Mali's transitional authorities to hold elections in December 2025. The elections were originally agreed to have been held next month. Now, this organization within Africa has proposed a timetable for a transition and has described it as totally unacceptable.
The authority find the proposed chronogram for a transition totally unacceptable. This chronogram simply means that an illegitimate military transition government will take the Malian people hostage during the next 5 years. The authority reiterated its call for the transition authorities to focus on activities geared toward an expeditious return to constitutional order.
Now, ever since the coup that took place in August 2020, there's been growing international concerns over the situation that is unfolding in Mali. Now, under the threat of sanctions, it was subsequently promised that civilian rule will be restored by February 2022. But the coup leader staged a de facto second coup in the month of May in 2021. An interim civilian government was then forced out. The sanctions mark the steepest consequences for Mali so far, and under these new sanctions, most commerce and financial aid to the country has been suspended. Land and air border closures have also been announced from other nations. Now, what is interesting is that the military in Mali, led by Colonel Assimi Goïta, had initially agreed to hold fresh elections in late February. So that is next month. But the military leadership has now said that the next presidential election will not take place in February 2022, but rather in 2026. Now, this will, of course, give Goïta 4 more years in power. Now, the Malian military maintains that the elections can't be held because of the deepening security crisis across the country. Now, Islamist extremists have been fighting a decade-long insurgency in the Sahel region of Mali. They also have said that it is essential to draft a new constitution and also to put it before the voters in a referendum. Now, all of this claims the military will take time before a fresh election to elect its next president can be held. Now, the country is presently in the grip of jihadist insurgency, especially in the Sahel region. Large swathes of the country are outside of government control, and the French military has somehow gotten involved and has been fighting the Islamist militants in northern Mali ever since 2013. But what is interesting is that the French are now in the process of drawing down their troop presence in Mali, despite the presence of United Nations peacekeepers and regional forces. Many fear that their departure will only deepen the crisis. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.